Coming up on a Get Loud podcast. Oh, yeah, it's the off season for you guys.
Yes, never stop for us.
Never stop. Never lost.
Never lost.
We're going to talk about free agency, also the NFL draft.
Yes, we're going to bring in Bram Weinstein and give us some pointers.
Yeah, what does Bram have to think about everything? He needs something to do. He told us that.
Yeah, he does. And Anna has created this bracket game because, of course, it's time for the Final Four season. Best plays of the year. Who wins? Me or Jinx?
It's going to be a competition. That's coming up next. Welcome to the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek. This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Northwest Stadium. I'm Michael Jenkins. That is Fred Smoot. Oh, how you doing?
I'm good.
Are you a new father?
I am a new father. And I had to ask you this. Mm-hmm. Are you a cat guy? Are you a dog guy?
You know what's funny? I had a dog for a long time.
What kind?
A basset hound.
You should have named him Slowpoke.
She was slow. Josie was slow.
No, they low energy.
She went viral a few years ago.
Oh,
and
really?
I started interacting with Chrissy Teigen on X. She was like, oh my God, I used to have bassets when I lived in Hawaii. So that went on for a couple days. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I did a video of her walking to get her bread next door.
Yeah.
She passed away.
Yeah.
And now I have a cat. So
Wow.
I've done both. And I love my cat, Bijou.
The one thing about cats, they are very aloof. They are low attention. You don't have to give cats any attention. And I think dogs would make them the best friend. They're going to follow you no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. I can get up and go to the kitchen, here come the dog. I can get up and go to the bathroom, here come the dog. But I just did add a new family member. He's a Yorkshire Short Terrier.
Name?
His name is Littlefinger, a.k.a. Peter Baelish. All right? And he is full of energy. Listen, for him to be 5 months old, he literally jumps off the floor onto the kitchen table anytime he wants to.
Oh, that puppy energy is crazy.
No, he has no laws right now. So he eats and chews up pretty much everything. So now I'm going to be forced to bring him to work with me. Because every time I leave, because I don't believe in putting my dogs in cages.
Yeah.
I just think it just... I don't like it.
That makes me, I don't want to see any animal in a cage.
Yeah, so therefore I'm going to be forced to bring old Littlefinger to work with me. Because if I don't, he's going to chew my house up and spit it out. He's been on a mission to get kicked out since I got him there.
So he's been running rogue as we speak, sounds like.
He's running rogue right now. Like,
oh my gosh.
And he's going to come here.
No, I'm attempting.
In the studio.
I'm attempting because, like, I walk in the house sometime and I'm like, how did he get there? How did he get up there? Mm-hmm. So I'm attempting to put some ring like cameras in the kitchen and in the living room just so I can see how is he getting these things done. Like he puts his mind to something and he goes gets it. I put the treats. All right, you've been in the kitchen before. You know how high the counters are.
I have been in the kitchen.
I put the treats on the counter, left out, went to the grocery store, came back, the bag was just
really
all over the floor. I'm like, first of all, how did he get on the counter? That's what I want to know. How did he get on the counter? He tore it up, and now just treats all over the ground. So
one of these days, you're going to be in the house, you're going to walk outside, and you'll be like, how's that dog behind the wheel of my car?
Listen, that's what type dude he is. First of all, he's very smart.
Yorkies are super stubborn and also very smart.
Very smart and very athletic. So I got to find a way to stop Littlefinger.
So does this mean you're a dog person then?
I've been a dog person my whole life.
Okay.
Like, I have never had a cat. Funny thing.
Okay.
I got drafted here in 01. Rod Gardner went in the first round. I went in the second round. Me and Rod became close. Rod is 6'3". If you look on his Instagram now, he's 240 pounds, just a wrestler. He tells me, Smoot, man, I like cats. I don't like dogs. I like, you're soft, right? So this is what I did.
Okay.
I went bought 2 Chihuahuas. I gifted one of the Chihuahuas to Rod. Because I was like, man, you need a dog. I refused to come over your house and you got a cat.
So you intentionally gave him a dog.
I intentionally gave him a puppy. I paid $1,000 for this puppy.
Damn.
All right, Chico and Wheezy is what we named. All right, my dog was Chico. His dog was Wheezy.
Okay.
I gave him Wheezy on a Monday. The next Monday, he returned him to me.
From the Jeffersons? Did you name that dog after the Jeffersons?
He named it Wheezy.
Oh, okay.
Lil Wheezy. I think he named it after Lil Wayne.
Oh, okay.
But he returned it 7 days later like, I can't do it. And I like, what you mean you can't do it? He like the dog using the bathroom, all of that. I like, that's what puppies do until you train them not to do that. He like, I ain't had no dog. I don't want no dog. Dogs are nasty. So I took the dog back.
Okay.
And I had a neighbor at the time. They had a daughter. She was around 6, 7, fell in love with him.
Okay.
So I ended up giving my neighbors Wheezy, and I kept Chico. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, it happens.
Now.
We get loud with dogs and
We
cats.
get loud. And we got the hot ticket presented by SeatGeek this summer. SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. How about some dogs we signed in the offseason?
You know what? I have loved this offseason because, I have always been one of these guys, bring on the beef. Where's the beef? Where's the bacon? I know even though I've been part of them shiny rims out there playing corner, playing wide receivers, I know where the game is won at. The game won in the trenches with the big uglies. So I looked at all the guys we got some mountain of amens. When I say, I'm talking about all of them. They are huge.
Yes.
And they are setting up to say we're not getting pushed around anymore. Not only are we not getting pushed around, we're going to work so hard in free agency that when we go into the draft, we're drafting only best player available. That's what the great teams do. Nobody, any team that goes into the draft, a la the New York Giants, with needs.
Across the board.
Across the board. Your needs won't be met. You know that, right? Because I can take a quarterback at 1. That don't mean he going to be a great quarterback. I can take in the first pick of the second round, I can take a wide receiver, a running back. That don't make them fill the gap. So that's why the best teams go into the draft and make sure they go into the draft, not needing to address this one position, so I'm not a prisoner to it. They do it so I can load up rooms, so I can pack rooms. Who is the best player available? I'm drafting him. I don't care who we already got. We adding talent to the team, and that's what you want to do.
And they got talent, some backup pieces on the line, and obviously trading for Laremy Tunsil means that you're going to protect Jaden Daniels' blind side, but also it allows you to build depth. That's huge.
Laremy Tunsil is the mountain that moves. Larry Tunsil is that security guard in the club that you look at one time and know he's going to kick you out. All right? This is the guy. This is the protector of all protectors. All right? This is what you want. I don't know if you've seen him in person.
I have not seen him yet.
But this is how you're going to look at him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even make eye contact.
Yeah.
I'd be like, go my own way.
No, I'm going to look right you in the eye. Hello, sir. His hand just covered my whole hand and half of the wrist.
You know what that reminds me of? I was talking about this earlier this week. This is old school, but I remember you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
Years ago, Andre the Giant was performing not far from where I grew up. And so in the newspaper, they're like, Andre the Giant is coming to town. So in the newspaper, you open it up and there was a picture
of his hand.
Of his hand. And it was, I remember as a kid,
putting it right there.
And his palm was so much bigger than my whole hand. And I was like, that is the largest hand I've ever seen in my life.
Do you remember the moment? All us do, 80s babies.
You just got chills.
I did. Do you remember the moment that Hulk Hogan body slammed
yes.
Andre the Giant?
Is that WrestleMania 3?
I don't know, but we lost it.
That's
lost
incredible.
it so bad, me and my cousin we started a Royal Rumble in my grandmama's living room. It went down. Like, listen, first of all, nobody had picked him up before.
Yeah.
Nobody had picked him up. Like, I thought Kamala was going to be able to pick him up, but nobody had picked up.
Oh, Kamala, that's a good reference.
Nobody had picked up Andre the Giant at the time. And when I seen Hulk Hogan do it, and this is before he turned heel, all right? This is the hero, Hulk Hogan. It was rememberable like the Jordan flu game. I hate to say it, and I know wrestling is not real, but it was legendary when Hulk Hogan picked this mammoth of a man up. It was unbelievable.
Do you remember when Mark Henry was in WWE?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the guy that was his coach, because, he was an Olympian, right, was Terry Todd. Terry Todd was one of my teachers at the University of Texas, and he taught a class for football players called The History of Pro Wrestling. And he would play us WrestleManias. And he'd be like, all right, we're going to watch WrestleMania 3. It's when Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. And then we take a multiple choice test on what we watched in WrestleMania. It was incredible.
First of all, wait for Texas to get their athletes through school. That shows you.
I was to say it was my one elective as a senior.
Why was you in there?
Because I was almost done. The whole football team was in there. I was about done, so I had like one elective. I was like, I can finally take this class.
Yeah.
It was the easiest class I've ever taken in my life. The history of pro wrestling. We just watched
That's what I'm
WrestleMania.
talking about. So who was in this class? Was it you and Roy Williams or somebody? Like, who was in this class with you? Because we didn't have this class at Mississippi State.
It was remarkable.
You know, the Ivy League of the South. We didn't have this class of WrestleMania in there. And by the way, any old heads out there, if you can name every cat on this shirt, I will send you a Washington hat.
Oh, okay.
And everybody can't name every cat on this shirt.
I can't name, well.
Yes, you can.
Heathcliff?
You got Heathcliff. You know that.
That's it. That's all I can name.
I can't be giving everybody else.
No, I just
But we
put it out
can't
there.
trust people no more because of Google.
Right.
We
They're
can't
gonna go, I got it, Fred.
Yeah, and you just Google it.
Right.
All right. I don't want you to do that. I want to do it.
So some other guys that we signed on the offense who are not wrestlers. Noah Brown.
Yeah. First of all,
Love this, by the way.
he earned it.
He sure did.
And this
What a pickup.
And this is what this franchise is showing you. If you come here and you earn it, we'll reward you. Can't beat that.
Michael Gallup signing.
You know what? Everybody went from that room at the beginning of the year last year with the other guys we had saying we're just not enough guys. They proved to be enough. But now you've taken that room to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And Debo Samuels, Michael Gallup. You're talking about depth. Like, you're talking about not giving cornerbacks a rest no matter what wide receiver is in the game.
And also Jeremy McNichols at running back. And I really love.
He earned it.
He sure did, man. And this is a guy, I love guys like this who've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not household names, but they just keep finding a way. And when they get their chances, their opportunities, they make the most of
I
them.
wish I was his agent. I would have him a McDonald's contract in no time. He one of them grinders that make your team up. Like, he's a grinder, and he's a guy that you give me a chance, I'm going to go make a play. I love guys like that. Great. Sometimes it ain't about going to sign other people. It's about re-signing your own. Great job by Adam Peterson.
What is it like when you're in a locker room? Because that's the one thing as I've gotten older is we always focus on the superstars, and I get that.
Yeah.
But a football team is a team, and depth is so important. And when you have a guy like that, you look at it and you say, man, that guy continues to find a way. He is a football player.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
And that's what you want on your team.
Especially this team.
This team, you want a fighter because you only good as the 53rd person on the roster, and they understand that. They understand when my number is called, I need to be ready to go. They understand that, hey, when that superstar ain't having a good game, I need to step in. I need to have that good game. I need to become a household name. The only way for me to do that is when the light is on me, I need to perform, and that's what they're doing. They find character guys that love to perform when the light's on.
Defensively.
Yep.
You got guys, a couple guys coming over from the Patriots, and Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Wise. And
Great steals right there.
Because, and especially when you're talking about Dietrich Wise,
Yes.
who I didn't realize, Anna pointed out, his brother played here.
Daniel Wise.
I'd forgotten about that.
Listen, man, football is a lineage. Like, they go, no lie. When we do our application, we have to fill out an application.
You do?
At the combine.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's your NFL application. When you fill it out, the first thing is on their full name, of course. Second question is, do you have any relatives that have played pro sports? Period.
They want to know.
They want to know, is that bloodline there? And since I was the first smoot, I was like, I think I had an uncle in the Olympics. But no, they want to know that lineage, and we got a guy in Daniel Wise that's a mountain mammoth of a man, that's a captain of a team. You notice,
3-time captain, too.
You notice, this is what they like. They like leaders, all right? And he brings that. Jonathan Jones, I think people don't understand what we're getting in him. We're getting a guy that can play all over the defensive backfield. We're getting a guy that been there, done that, 2-time Super Bowl winner. He knows how to yellow brick road. He knows what to end at the yellow brick road. He understands the game. I just love what Adam Peterson's doing. He's just not going out there getting the biggest names possible. He's going out there getting guys that actually fit the culture and fit the locker room. Perfect.
I wanted to ask you about Javon Kinlaw.
Ask me.
I know we talked a little bit about him last week, but he's a guy who hasn't reached his potential just yet.
And I love that.
He's got a ceiling there.
Yeah, I can say I love the fact that he hasn't reached his potential yet. Every guy that you get doesn't have to be at the peak of his game already. Every guy that you get doesn't. All right, for example, Philadelphia took a flyer on Josh Sweat coming out of college. I was very high on Sweat. Everybody knew he had a knee problem. They said, we're going to be patient with this, all right? Because once we get him to the point where he can play, it's going to be peak performance. And hence, they went out and did it. Well, this is the same thing with Kinlaw is. He was You know, he was ranked very high when he came out in the draft. Started his career kind of slow, in which everybody it's not an instant hit time you get to the league. Some guys need time to learn how to be a pro, some learn how to dominate in their own way inside of the defensive call. I think we're going to get everything from Kinlaw because I always like stories, too. A guy that was homeless on the streets of D.C. growing up. Now he's at the top. Don't think this hungry dog ain't going to forget about them lonely nights. Don't think that he ain't going to love to represent Washington. Don't think that he ever will forget the team that basically set him up for life when it comes to money. No, that hungry dog going to bite somebody. Right?
And there's something about coming home. You know, it's sort of like, maybe it's not exactly the same. I know you weren't born in D.C., but this is your home.
Yeah.
It's like when you were in Minnesota, you wanted to come. At some point, you wanted to come back home.
I was homesick, and I told him up there, I love Minnesota. I love the city. I love what you done for me. But I actually want to go back home. Like, I felt like if the best football player for me happens in Washington.
Yeah.
Like, and I got nothing to explain why. It ain't that I'm just so unhappy here. It just feel like I want to be back with Coach Gibbs. That was my thing. I want to be back with Coach Gibbs. I want to be back with Greg Williams. I want to be back with my teammates, my brothers. So, therefore, I had to go upstairs and orchestrate that thing.
Yeah.
So, coming back home sometimes is for the best. And I think with this guy, he going to always feel like I got to play a little bit harder than everybody else on this team because I'm from this city.
Right.
I represent, just like Lamont Roach, all right? I represent this city, all right?
Right.
So you fight a little harder. You know what I'm saying? You fight a little harder. And by the way, we interviewed him before that massive, supposedly upset.
I know.
They stole it, did it? But guess what? We know the politics of boxing.
Boxing, you know, you see this all the time.
But guess what? They do it logically because Lamont Roach is the incumbent. He ain't the guy that put them butts in his seat.
Right.
Tank was. So therefore, if it's that close, we're going to keep the guy that keep putting these butts in his seat. We're either going to keep him unblemished. We're going to do something until they feel like you just go take it by knocking him out.
Right.
But we, as aficionados that's watching the fight, know that Roach won that fight for D.C. He won that fight for D.C.
Yeah, it's like all things being equal, we got to go with the more popular guy right now.
You have
and keep
to.
those ticket receipts coming in.
Yeah.
And then once you knock him out, then you get the title.
But that's why Tank is in a rush to get this rematch.
Right.
That's why he's in a rush to get this rematch. He want to get that unblemished. And when he took that knee, so you better be glad it wasn't Sugar Ray Fred. Because Sugar Ray Fred, when he would have took that knee, I would have snuck him right then. Whap! Right in the jaw. So I'm just telling you. I feel like he was robbed, but great entertainment, great fight. I love boxing, but boxing has to get a commissioner. Boxing need a structure. Dana White needs to take over boxing like he did the UFC. They need the best fighting the best at all times. Like, I'm tired of people being able to Mayweather themselves through a career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just dodging people, fighting them at the right time. No. Get it to where it used to be. Boxing, for a long time, was the most popular sport.
A big boxing event back in the day just dwarfed everything when you had a true prize fight.
Yeah,
and you had 3 or 4 fighters who were always like in the public consciousness.
No, always there. And we talked about the best walk-in. Is it baseball with your music?
Oh, yeah.
Is it boxing? I knew Tank was going to lose when Jim Jones and Jules Santana walked in with him. Just dirty old men. I knew then that he had lost. And Lamont came in by himself. That's why I used to love watching Mike Tyson wear that
just a towel.
That towel.
Just wear a towel.
That he just cut a hole in. I was like, you know what? He's finna kill somebody out here. like, come on, man. If you're a boxer, you coming in here with all these shiny things on, then this dude just walk in with a towel.
Things have changed. Who's the guy that walks in with the mask and had the heavy garb? Devontae Wilder?
Yes.
And so I interviewed Devontae a few years ago. He's a super nice guy, but it's weird to watch the progression from Tyson walking in with a towel.
From the Holiday Inn.
Right. And
no, seriously.
From the local Motel 6.
This was not like a designer towel.
Right.
This was a dirty old used towel that he probably used to train in.
Right. He's like, I just got out of the shower, and put a towel on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to whoop you. And he rubbed your face. He rubbed your face and be like, yeah, I'm about to get whooped.
We're gonna talk to Bram. Bram Weinstein, of course, voice of the Commanders.
The voice of the Commanders.
We're going to talk about the draft. Also, make sure you call us. Leave us a voicemail, 703-726-7419. You can email us as well, WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. We're going to talk with Bram about the draft.
Yeah.
But you've made a point to say, which I think is a great point. Do you draft for need? Do you draft the best athlete? Ideally, you just get the best player you can.
Available.
Yes.
And only the great GMs go out and try to do this. And the great GMs say, I cannot do that, go best player available if I still got holes in the roster. So what I need to do in the free agent period is fill these holes in this roster. So when we transition to the draft, we're not looking at draft needs, we're looking at highest grade. All right, highest graded person available. Think about it. Philadelphia been doing it for the last 5 years with Howie Roseman. All right, he was not supposed to get Jalen Carter. All right,
Yeah.
He failed to him. Run the ticket up. Best player available. Nolan Smith, best player available. Run it up. Jordan Davis, best player available. Run it up. Do we need more D linemen? Don't matter. Run it up. All right. We're gonna draft Quentin Mitchell. All right, in the first round. Who's the best player available left? Cooper DeJean. We just put somebody in that room. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Best player available. Go get him. Put him in the room. Pack the rooms. That's what you want to do as a great GM. You want best player available at all times. You don't care what room you're packing. You want some rooms overpacked. All right. That's how you get leverage. That's how you get depth, and that's how you get trade bait. All right. Right there. Right now, New England is taking calls on Joe Milton because guess what? They took a quarterback and took another quarterback. All right, so packing rooms is what you do.
So it's an interesting balance because you do want to pack room, but also there are needs that are real things.
But you don't want them to be needs.
You don't want them to.
By the time I get to the draft,
Right.
I don't want to go in here and be a prisoner of needs because then it's going to force me to take a player only because I need that position, not because I need that player.
And also I think we have to remember too, like edge is a need.
Yeah.
Like this team needs an edge, right?
Yeah.
But also it's March right now.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time between now and the season for things to happen.
And what about the second, third wave of free agency? Like people forget about this.
Right.
Because some teams gonna draft a player, they're gonna release some wily veteran. All right, so some things you need to be patient. You don't get a Michael Gallup because you ran out there. You got a Michael Gallup because you were patient. All right, and think about it. Most of our moves this offseason has been more trades than free agency.
Yeah.
So he's looking at the free agency board and be like, okay, that player, maybe this player, but no, I can't find the player I want in this free agency, and I'm not going to overpay for him. So I'm going to go give up some, and I'm going to trade to get the guy. Nobody even knew Larry Thompson was available.
Right.
Nobody had ever talked about him being available. Now, we knew Debo was available.
Right.
All right, but
Larry, we had no idea.
No, one of the top tackles in football because they don't come available. That's the way it goes. But if you're smart and you roster watching and you're saying to yourself, they can't pay everybody. Did you notice the day after we traded for Larry Tunsil, Derek Stingley Jr. got paid?
He sure did.
Right, but they couldn't pay Derek Stingley with Tunsil still on the roster. So that just shows you the high IQ of Mr. Peters. That's why I say let grandma cook.
And also I love that you said be patient because you can't overpay or overextend yourself and be desperate in the moment. You got to let things play out.
Let it play out. And that's why I say every year we see 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers released after the draft because they found a cheaper replacement.
Yeah.
We see it every year, and I love that he's just not going out here and giving DK Metcalf $150 million, stuff like that. I love DK.
Yeah.
I think he's a little overpaid because that's what free agency is.
Yeah.
It's a bidding war.
Yeah.
It's like shopping for a house. A house hit the market for $700. By the time me and 5 families get through bidding on it, it's at $850.
Right.
How did it get here? It's not even worth $850. It got here because she said $5 more than him. I said $5 more than her. And before you know it, we $150. I'm finna withdraw my name out of this. All right?
Sounds like you've been there.
I've been there. Come on. Anybody that's bidding on a house in Northern Virginia,
Oh, well, that's the truth.
You know that you're going to overpay sometime not because of the house, because of the people that's bidding against you. They're going to keep fighting to get what they want. And that's how prices go up. That's what free agency is.
Yeah.
Free agency is a frenzy of we started here and we ended here. Because if you got 4 or 5 teams going against each other, the price is only going to go up. So free agency is the classic time to overpay. Like, you're going to overpay everything.
Yeah.
Like, who got it right? I say this, Cincinnati paying Jamar Chase what they did. They got it right. But I don't think you had to pay T. Higgins all that.
They paid T a lot.
That's 200.
I mean, Jamar, you had to.
Jamar, that's where he slotted.
Yes.
$250 million in one room?
And they still potentially got to pay Trey Hendrickson.
No, they can't play Trey.
Right.
They can't play Trey.
Or deal him.
And they can't hold him hostage no more either because now we know on the outside looking in, you can't pay him.
Right.
We're not going to give you a first round, second round for him when eventually you're going to have to release him anyway. Why would I give up something when you can't pay him? He either going to hold out or you're going to have to release him. I know your situation now. So I'm going to be patient because you done just spent $250 million in one room. Now, I know you want to keep Joe Burrow happy, but man.
It's a lot for two receivers.
And don't forget his deal. So on offense right now.
Those three guys
make up $400 million.
It's ridiculous. I believe that those three take up more of the salary cap than any other three players in the National Football League.
Any other team.
Yeah.
So you got to realize 3/4 of your money is on three players. Great job, Cincinnati. We don't have to worry about you.
Hey, Anna's here, guys. Hey, come on in here, Anna.
Hello. I think they're getting. Yeah, I can hear myself. Sometimes I have to check. Okay, well, in case you guys didn't notice, we did get a table for Jenks.
Yes, I was going to mention that.
Major upgrade here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Huge.
welcome.
Thanks to Kayla for bringing it out.
Well,
Kayla built it herself.
Yes, she loves woodworking.
Exactly.
Woodworking.
That's how much we care about you and getting you a table.
Thank you. Look how easy this is.
Well, I'm glad the fans brought it up.
There was a whole discussion about it. I was like, man.
I'm glad somebody attention to detail. They were like, Jinx is just under distress.
I appreciate that they notice these
you.
things, and sometimes I don't. And so we're really quick to
don't
make
ask
that
for much.
adjustment.
I just want a table. That's all.
Jinx just wanted a table. I'm glad we could get it to him. Yeah, we want to get into our voicemails and emails.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do this.
And Jinx, Smooth, ladies first, guys. Been a fan ever since Mark Riffin, man. I seen the Super Bowl game, and it was on from there. Just want to say I think you guys are having a podcast. Let us know what's going on. You guys are just awesome. Keep it going. Commanders, Command Center, everything, man. I love it all, man. It's all good. But, Snoop, I want to ask you one thing, man. What's going on with these D.C. defenders?
These D.C.
What going to do this year? He didn't look so good last year, man. It just didn't work out, didn't pan out. So what you think is going to go on with this year? They brought him back, so we're going to see what's going to happen, man. Jinx, I love you guys on here, man. Y'all do a real good job, man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
And hoping I get to go see one of the games maybe this year, if not, possibly next year. But I really would love to go. Been a fan since 91, 92 when they won it. And, man, I just love to be in the stadium. Never been. Seen the Skins play in Charlotte because I'm from North Carolina.
All right.
But,
Okay.
I just want to know, man, and what's the future going to look like for this year? What we going to do this year? We stacked up. Look like the defense is going to look a little bit better. We got some run stoppers. So I'm hoping it's going to be a great year. We double up from last year, and let's go win a bowl, man. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Did he
Great
ask
call.
me about the D.C. Defenders first, right?
He did.
Yes, because I'm a fan of the Defenders. I go to every home game. I am basically the mascot of the Defenders. All right? My coach, Greg Williams, is a defensive coordinator.
I did not know that.
I support him. Most definitely. I go to every game. Monte Nicholson, a couple of ex-players that play for that team.
Yep.
DJ Swearinger that plays for that team. I support all of these guys. So I'm always at the DC Defenders game. And I must say, before we got back on track, they were the best football team in the city.
Yeah.
They represented the city. And Jinx, and I
True.
don't know, you're going to have to go with me because until you see this beer snake, you haven't seen
Well, we
Fandom.
have to go.
You haven't seen Fandom till you done gave your cup up to be a part. And like they say, your cup can't be a part of the beer snake until the beer is gone. All right. All right. But I think the DC Defenders are going to be a good team this year. They might have a chance to win this thing this year. They pushed it to the brink last year. They're going to be a good team. And the fan base, this shows you how rabid this fan base is for football. Their attendance is off the chain. I enjoy Audi Field. I enjoy the DC Defenders, and they're going to have a good team this year. I'm a G-Dub guy.
UFL preview.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah.
Football is football.
Yeah.
And I had already said when I was young, and I would watch guys get cut, friends, because that's one thing I can say about this year that this time of the year that makes it hard is the locker room usually had like 90, 80 dudes in there.
Yeah.
We know like 30 going to get cut, 35. Some of these your friends, they won't get to live their dream no more.
Mm-hmm.
So having this minor league system gives them a chance to rebound and get a chance to live that dream again. So I had already felt bad because the NBA always had the G League, the baseball always had the minors, and we never had nothing. The closest thing we got to a minor league system was NFL Europe. Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
That's how I got to Barcelona. Go to support some of my family that was playing football.
I love that you support your friends in that way.
Why not?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. And if you're a sports guy, you already love sports.
Right.
So you might as well go, like, support people.
And it's right here in the city anyway.
Why not? Like, I'm DC everything. That's why I say right now we in a gap, people. We in a gap called the District of Champions. It ain't called the District of Columbia no more.
Oh.
All right? We got one more piece to get. And thank Lord that the Wizards are doing everything they can to make sure we get it. They stink. All right? And guess what? That automatically put them in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes.
They've been winning. I need to see a few more losses.
We need Alex Sarr, stop balling.
It's gonna be Janai Broom.
Take him out the game. All right?
Right.
All right? Because I can see it right now. And he from Maine. They're just holding him up like just a baby from Maine. And I could just see Cooper Flag signs with the Washington Wizards and that flag just waving in the background. Just a new American hero. And guess what? The Nationals with James Woods and their guys, they're on the up.
They're young and talented,
Right?
yep.
The Washington Commanders is on the up. And also, now here come the Wizards.
It's an exciting time. One more piece.
Yeah.
Anna?
Okay, so we got to get to Bram
Oh, okay.
really shortly, but we're going to get to more voicemails. So you guys, do not forget to call us. Leave us your voicemails, 703-726-7419. We will get to more after our interview with Bram. And don't forget to leave us emails at washingtongetout@gmail.com. Some of you guys have forgotten, but you can definitely leave us emails with questions, I don't know, suggestions, ideas,
whatever.
Thoughts.
Yeah,
advice.
whatever.
concerns.
Yeah, how you feeling? What you doing this summer?
Yeah,
you know, because this is
Yeah.
the dark time of the year
Yeah.
where
Oh, yeah.
men get depressed. So women out there, support your men through this dark sports
Women
time
get
right now.
depressed too, Fred.
Well, men right now, you know how many men that I've bumped into in the grocery store and they like, man, I don't even know what to do with my
There's
life
no
right
football.
now. Like no
They got
football.
March
I had a
Madness.
woman to cheer me up.
Yeah, like it just like they like depressed right now. It's a dark sports time right now.
Yeah,
and
it
then
is.
you got to realize
Totally.
the draft is also in Green Bay this year.
Pay some bills.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Fred, you get started. You can start this one off.
I will. MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of a place anywhere in the world, and in a blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop.
Beautiful.
Delivery.
Wow, that was incredible. Okay. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with the Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with Parlay. Access thousands of games with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or bet during the game. It's up to you. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Oh, and also do not forget about Commanders camps for your kids.
I'll be there on March 31st. Most definitely, I'll be there. The camp is at Northwest Stadium where we'll be jamming. Come get this higher learning of the football experts and have some fun playing on a pro field that Jane Daniels actually play on. The same field that he threw the Hail Mary on.
Oh, my
Should I say
gosh.
Hail Noah?
You guys won't want to miss it.
Let's do it. And now we got to bring in Bram, talk a little draft. As promised, we bring in the voice of the Commanders, Bram Weinstein now. Nice to see Bram during the offseason. So we're talking a little free agency, a little draft here. Bram, first of all, what have you been doing with your time? Now that you're not calling games. You got all this free time now.
sleeping, getting over the emotional ride. But it's March, so I'm officially bored. So I'm ready for this. Invite me more often. I am bored out of my mind.
We were just talking about this. This is the dark spot for all like football aficionados right now because there's just no football there. But I'm sure you needed some time to get your voice back because you had some great calls this year. What do you expect us to do in the draft that now that we've added some key cogs in free agency, do you feel like I feel that some of the free agencies that we brought in here makes us go best player available in the draft instead of addressing needs?
Yes. The fact that they haven't gotten a premier edge rusher, although I'm not really sure how they're using Javon Kinlaw yet. Like, I think that's a kind of an open question of like, if you look at this group that's really deep, are they rethinking how they're going to set up an edge? And if they are, then maybe that makes us feel a little differently about where the draft is or who they would try to go acquire at what would be a typical position. So without really knowing the answer to that, that feels like an opportunity for them. I still think they need playmakers on both sides of the ball. And specifically on offense, it feels like they've decided to go in the direction at tight end to run it back. That makes sense to me. But at running back, at wide receiver, where there's still room, I think, to improve the position group as a whole. At running back, where I think there's room to improve the position group as a whole. But largely, like to answer your question, I think you're right. Like, I think what's changed here is I don't think they're taking a tackle any longer in the draft, which was one of the spots that I thought that they might take in the first or second round. I would doubt that now, but that's about the only one because I think everything else is pretty much open to them.
So you saying the wide receiver room kind of brings up question marks, even though you got Terry, you got Debo, you re-signed Noah Brown, now you just signed Michael Gallup. I think that's actually a pretty deep room as it goes. But if you want to add some college youth, I understand, especially with this being one of the best running back classes that I've seen in probably like 10 years. I can see why you say let's add some running back depth.
Yeah, I look at the running, like Ashton Genty's not going to be available to them at 29. That's not going to happen. But there are others, that I think like we could go through that really stand out. This is a very deep running back class. Unlike last year where there were premier running backs on the open market, if you were willing to pay for them, you could go get. That's not the case, obviously, this year. So I think it's a possibility. And I do believe that like coming into this season, there were a couple of things that I think if we were being honest about the roster really needed to be improved. And this Laramie Tunsil trade really changed everything for me. I think it's what really opened the door for everything else that we're talking about now to happen. Bringing him in allows them to move Coleman to wherever they deem that he should be, guard, right tackle, whatever that may be. Restructuring with Andrew Wiley allows some flexibility with him to play guard until Sam Cosby comes back. Maybe a flex swing tackle for them. And so the door's been opened differently, I think, to look to these other position groups. And I agree with you. The running back position is really deep with what appears to be difference makers. So I'm not sure that that's not the direction they go with the first or second round pick.
Bram, how do you balance that out between ideally you get the best player out there, you find a way to get him on your roster, and maybe there's someone you don't want to overdraft, but it fits a very specific need that you have to have or that you really want. Like it's a very tricky thing. I mean, this is what Adam Peters gets paid to do, but how do you balance those two things when you're right there at 29?
I think by doing what they did with the Tunsil trade, really more than anything, or the Debo trade, where they addressed what were clear voids ahead of the draft. I think that's what opens the door for you to take best player available. You're not pigeonholed into, well, we have to get this, so we might as well take a chance and put unreasonable expectations on somebody to come in and fill a hole that we need. This is why I've liked what they've done in free agency. I think they had a lot of holes to deal with. I think they were still in year 2 of a rebuild. But because Jaden Daniels had the season he had, because they have a chemistry in this room and a culture that's been built very, very quickly, the windows open very differently than I think most teams at this stage of what would be what they're calling a recalibration and what I think some people would call a rebuild. I love what they've done because they addressed what I don't know that people were pointing at as maybe the biggest prominent issue for them, offensive line. But I love that they went and took a swing for the fences for it because I agree with that sentiment, that needed to be addressed, especially in light of the Cosmi injury. Because without him knowing exactly when he's going to be back and exactly when he's going to be on the field, it is another starter they were going to have to deal with in some way or in some form until he's ready and up and going. And so this deal has a trickle-down effect on literally everything for them. It's the one move that I love Debo too, but it's the one real move that they made that I think allows them the flexibility of what we're talking about, which is, let's just get to 29. Let's see what our options are. It's possible one of these quarterbacks is there and someone wants to trade up and they can recoup some of this draft capital back and move back and still get a really good player. That's a distinct possibility to me. And in that case, if we're talking about a position like running back that's really deep, where you could get really good players probably in the second round as well as late in the first round, well, then maybe you take that chance and you drop back a little bit. We're just in a position now because, in my opinion, of that Tunsil trade, to not have to overthink exactly who we're going to take or say we have to take this position group. I think it's opened the door for them to be flexible at 29.
First of all, Bram, nobody wants to talk about the fact that the draft is a crapshoot no matter if you're picking number one or you're picking 256. You don't know what you're going to get from these guys. Just because they was great college players do not make them great pro players. I am a product of getting drafted best player available. I was in the second round, and I got through in the room with Darryl Green, Deion Sanders, and Champ Bailey, and I'm a better cornerback for it. So I know as a baby of best player available, and watching Philadelphia do it for the last 4 years. They get Jalen Carter because they went best player available. So I think when you're in this spot, you don't want to be a prisoner at 29. And I'm with you that I think they're going to look at that as a move piece, because to me, besides the top 10 in this draft, all the talent is from pick 45 to pick 90 to me. Like the middle of this draft, to me, is stronger than the top.
I agree. I think you have to be flexible. This is what I like about this front office is doing. I think they're flexible. Like, they'll come out and say things, we want to build through the draft. And then it looks like they're not doing that by trading away a number of picks to address the needs. But they're not sitting there in this, well, we said we're going to do this and that's why we're going to do it. They looked at the options that were in front of them. If you're being honest about the free agent class that was available to them, who of these type of players that they acquired were they going to get if they just went that path and acquired a couple? None of them, right? None, in the same way that you're talking about the draft, which is, I agree with you. Like, the top 10 picks, Travis Hunter is going to be terrific in the NFL. Cam Ward's probably going to be terrific. Abdul Carter is going to be terrific. But the list gets short. It is not like last year. Last year had a lot of top-heavy, high-end players, from the receiving core to all of these quarterbacks, that most of which look like they're hits.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them look like they're hits. The receiving players, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, all of these hit players came out. I agree with you. Once you get past about number 10, and we're not even in the business of taking a quarterback, and it looks like a couple quarterbacks are going to be overdrafted this year because of scarcity, there is not a lot of what looks to be premier players, which again leaves the flexibility. So if at 29, and for some reason, and I doubt this happens, that Shedeur Sanders falls in that neighborhood, and then someone goes, all right, now it's worth it to move into the first round because we get the fifth-year option for him and we'll give up something for draft capital in return. Washington should be wide open to something like that. Or if Jackson Dart is available there. Or there's some other player that people move up for. I think this is not saying out loud, like, yeah, we want to build through the draft. But I agree with you. This draft doesn't have all of these high-end players in it. We needed to fill a lot of holes. Well, the free agent class only offered you what they had. The options are what they are. So they went and did something that seemed different from what they were saying they were going to do because of what their options are. And look what happened. They've put themselves in a position to do as well as they can in this draft and leave themselves open for options and not have to pigeonhole themselves. I loved the approach to all of this. They have a lot of holes that they had to fill, some of their own making, some that they had to go about it. And they haven't gotten stuck in their own thinking of, well, we said we're going to do it this way. Well, you can only do what's in front of you, and they've adjusted to it.
Yep.
And when you look at guys like Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Wise, their history with the Patriots, you're talking about a 3-time captain, guy who's won a Super Bowl. So it feels like signing those guys, besides adding some nice depth pieces, is very intentional because of their history and that they know how to win to be a part of a winning locker room.
Culture guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we played New England in the last preseason game, and I remember looking at them, and they were there, and their defense has been very good for a long time for good reason, right? You know, Gerard Mayo had taken over for Bill Belichick. They've known to be a great defensive unit. And I remember sitting there watching the preseason game going, I don't know if their offense is going to be any good, you know, because just look across the board. But I know defensively they're going to be very competitive. And these were a couple of the players that stand out. And now that they've had this changeover, these are a couple of guys that kind of fell through the cracks for them. I think the Wise signing is huge. honestly.
Yep, it is.
Hopefully their rush defense for the rotational pieces. Their defensive line is very deep. Look at their cornerback group in 1 year, how different it looks now. The group that they're going to be, what looks like right now, sending out there. And I don't think they're done at corner too. I think they need to think about, how are they adding to that group as well. But I will say this, and I'll see if you agree with me, Fred, on this. I still feel like on both sides of the ball, Debo's a major upgrade in terms of a playmaker on offense, but I still think there's more that's necessary. Explosive players. Yeah. I would say the same thing on defense, that they still are looking for a game-changing type of player. And I'm open to any position group that's coming from, whether it's defensive end or corner. They are better and deeper at these position groups than they were a year ago. And I am more bullish about what they can do with this group. But I still think they're looking for that playmaker on that side of the ball still.
Yeah, and we did fill in some gaps. We lost Chin. We filled that in. I think Jonathan Jones, with him, Marshawn Lattimore, Sam Steele, I think that's a legit core of football players. I could take them and go to war with any wide receiving core. But you're right, to add some icing on that cake to make it better, it would be good to have that player that really stands out. And there's a couple of defensive players, especially in the backfield, South Carolina, with I killed his name, Emery, whatever his name is. I butcher it all the time. But he was a monster at the combine. His film matches his combine. So it is some players out there that might make you second guess leaving from 29 if they're there. Maybe a James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. You talked about edge rusher. He's one of the best edges in this draft. So yeah, it might be some guys that make you stick there. But yeah, I think they are still going to add some pieces to this car.
Yeah, I think that playmakers, explosive playmakers, they were amazing, and it was almost unprecedented how good they were in clutch fourth down positions, in drives late in the game, in one-score games. And I think we can all agree that if they add some premier talent with some playmaking ability on both sides of the ball, the outcomes might not be as close.
Yeah, we won't have to win it at the end of the game.
Correct. Yeah. There's going to be a correction to stuff like that. You can't win every game by one score.
No, you can't
win every game on the last play of the game. Last year was a miraculous, incredible, I'll never forget it season. But moving forward, if we're going to keep winning at a clip like this, 12 wins a season, getting to the playoffs, hopefully more than that, going to the places they want to get to, they need some premier explosive playmakers on both sides of the ball. And I'm not sure I still see it yet on defense, although the group as a whole, I like better than the one they had a year ago.
But we also
on offense,
yeah. No, I'm finna say I think size matter. And I'm always one of them people, I like the guys that smell like bacon. I trench warfare was winning this game. And I felt like they looked at Philadelphia and said, they're just bigger than us. So if you look at Wise, if you look at the guys we signed, especially on defense and offense, they are a mountain of men. They understand that if we don't win the line of scrimmage, Jaden can only do so much. Bobby Wagner can only do so much. Lattimore can only do so much. We can't get pushed around by the bigger Philadelphia Eagles. And every guy that I looked at that they signed is over 320 pounds.
That's right. It's both sides of the ball, too. I know Josh Sweat is gone, but you still have to deal with that defensive line because of Jalen Carter. They have to get better up front. This is where the Tunsil trade really matters for them. And I think as they head towards the draft, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, and this is why they're not pigeonholed into anything, why I like that they're in the position that they're in because of this trade. They have a choice to make here. And I think they could look at this offense and go, okay, we got Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. We know what we have in the tight end room. We feel a lot better about our offensive line right now, and we're going to feel really good when Cosme comes back, that we have a group that we can go to war with a group like this. Do we go over the top and use 29 on a running back, which would, because it could be a playmaking, game-breaking running back, or say Matthew Golden out of Texas is available for them.
Yeah.
You've got an opportunity to get a playmaking wide receiver. Do you go, you know what? Let's load up on offense and see how good we can be. Can we be a top 5 offense? Or do you look at the defense and go, this is why the options are open here. And like you said, James Pierce, or a couple of the other, edge is a very deep group. Defensive tackle is a very deep group coming into this draft. Do you look at that and go, okay, it is a void. We do need it. We feel better. And if we get a playmaker to add to all these other players, are we competitive to become a top 10 defense and not a defense that's ranked 20? If these are the choices they have to make.
Yeah.
And I think they're easier now because of what they've done over the last week plus.
Great problems to have.
We got to have him on more often. It's Bram Weinstein, the voice of the Commanders. Bram, we appreciate the time, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
And looking forward for some of them great in-game calls again. Hopefully this season matches last season, Bram.
Man, I wish you were still playing, Fred. God, I want to call your plays. Oh, man.
Listen, it's like Bram, and you know I give you some love out there too when I start breakdancing on the 30-yard line.
Great to get some insight. Good to see Bram.
Always good to see Bram, man.
Always.
I love Bram.
So now we got a voicemail, I believe, and then we're going to finish up with a little tournament style. Well, it's going to be bracket, but football style.
From the plays of the season.
Yeah.
We're going to go bracket to see which one is the number one, which I think
we know. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, inspired by March Madness, we're gonna like Jinx said, we're gonna do a little best moments from the season bracket. That was a bit
And
of a
by the way, High Point is the small school. I always pick one or two, three small schools to pull for
They're
the
loud
tournament.
dogs. They're
And I was
loud
gonna
dog
say
today.
Mississippi State's got some.
We ain't the underdog. We always the overdog.
Well,
I'm
I'm
talking
always
about
impressed.
small schools. High Point. And I went and did a little investigation on the school at High Point. Do you know if you go to High Point, anytime it's ice cream trucks, you get all the ice cream free?
What?
Do you know it's a steakhouse on High Point that they eat for free so they can teach them how to eat in business etiquette?
Oh wow.
Oh,
I messed up.
So while y'all tripping on High Point, you might need to go see that campus. Now here it's like water everywhere.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
research that.
That's incredible. No regrets about where I went. I'm still above through and through. All right.
So
Anna, Jinx, Smooth, this is Willie Smith the Fifth. Let me tell you something. I've been seeing everybody going crazy about Travis Hunter at Colorado playing wide receiver and defensive back, and he's a great one. I think he's going to do a great job in the NFL. But we have a guy by the name of Mikey Ant-Man Sabersteel who can do the same thing. So the question is, do you think Sabersteel needs an offensive package?
ooh.
Oh, yeah, I remember the number from the jingle.
That's
That's the only way I
interesting.
remember the number to call. All right, guys. I'm going to be looking for the answer. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
First of all, he ain't Willie Smith the Fifth.
That's you.
I'm Willie Smith the Fifth. That's my best friend from Mississippi named Percy Donaldson. All right? And he stole my name, and he refused to give it back. But he's a football savant. Mm-hmm. And most people don't know Mikey Sabersteel came to Michigan as a wide receiver.
He sure did.
All right? And he moved to corner. So he does have that versatility. I just think we won't axe that out of him.
Yeah.
Because I played with a lot of corners. I played both positions. I played with Champ Bailey.
Most corners or receivers have played one or the other, if not both.
If both. You have to play both. If you're the best receiver on your high school team, you're probably the best corner.
Tanner did the same thing, right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So it just happens until like you get with the top of the top and they're like, oh no, you're a corner, not a wide receiver. You'll be a better wide receiver than a corner. So everybody won't get the Travis Hunter's treatment. And only reason I think he's getting it because he played an average of 140 plays a game.
Also, he's really, really special and unique.
He is. But here go the kicker. What if I told you, as a draft guru,
Oh, okay.
that Travis Hunter, pound for pound, is not the best cornerback in this draft? Would you believe me?
Guy from Michigan,
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson.
6'2", 200 pounds, 4'3", 4'40". He's basically a faster version of Charles Woods.
Okay. Damn.
All right. So I compare these guys. So Will Johnson is a faster version of Charles Woodson as a DB.
Okay.
I compare Travis Hunter to Champ Bailey. He's a longer, skinnier.
Yeah, he's leaner.
Champ. He's leaner. All right. So to me, he's the second best corner, and he's probably the fifth best wideout.
But the best overall athlete.
But the best overall athlete. And that's what keeping him at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a quarterback needed team, getting the best athlete don't do anything for me. Like if I'm Tennessee Titans,
Yeah.
I got Will Levis. Travis Hunter is not going to make me that much better. Like I'm going to be forced to take Shedeur Sanders, even though I want Travis Hunter. Like so sometimes the positional need is bigger than the person. And like I say, I love Travis Hunter, but in the NFL, at his size, which me and him was the same size coming out, skinny, I don't think he'll be able to continue to hit these running backs for 4 quarters, these tight ends that's 6'6", 250 pounds, and then get on offense and play 60 plays.
Yeah.
And get smashed by Bobby Wagner and get smashed by N'Kobe Dean 3, 4, 5 times a game and then go back and play corner.
Right.
I just don't think, can you put a package in? Yes. He can't play a full game at both.
No, he just can't.
He just
Not
can't.
today's game.
No, he can't. He can't.
Especially with his build, like you were talking about.
No, I just think it's going to be too much for his build. It's going to be too much.
I think you're right. And look, Sainris still would be awesome in theory, but ultimately, you don't want to do anything to impede his development as a corner.
Yes.
And until he becomes and look, he's close. Like he's
Shut
right
down
there.
corner.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put nothing else on his plate.
Exactly.
Because even when we had Champ, we would put him at slot wide receiver. We would put Champ at tailback. And run toss sweeps. Like, come on, Sean Taylor played wide receiver.
Yeah.
People don't understand. We used to throw him jump balls in the end zone all the time because he was the biggest athlete and one of the best athletes. Standing in at 6'3", got a 40-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball up to him, but he got the body to do that. I don't think Travis Hunter has the body. Now in 3 years, after all these steaks and weights, he'll probably be 185 pounds. He'll be ready to do it.
Things can change for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you about
Tell us.
SeatGeek. They have your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. They make it easy to catch world-conquering tours and high-wattage performances from your favorite artists all summer long. SeatGeek has the best seat, your seat, for an unforgettable summer from rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country. Find it all on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. Summer concert season officially starts with SeatGeek.
Has country music taken over?
Yes.
Yes.
It's getting there.
Sure
I'm
seems
sorry.
that way. Like, everywhere
I'm
I
loving
turn,
it.
Shaboozey and like
Yeah.
Shaboozey's local. Is he from Virginia?
Yeah, he's from Virginia.
He's from Woodbridge. Yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere I turn right now, because I grew up in Mississippi, you grew up in Texas, so country music is second nature to us. But for the rest of the United States, they didn't really take it all in. Like Cooper Flagg is sitting in Maine. I'm sure he ain't bopping his feet to Shaboozey.
You're just seeing a lot of genre crossing music
And
right
that's
now,
what we
right?
finna
Where
see.
it's country, but it's pop, and maybe it's R&B infused. So it's with today's music, it's harder and harder to give it a classification.
Yeah, and guess what? I think they are understanding that one of the most profitable has always been country music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because of the concerts and country music just has this draw to it. I say this, country music has always been happy music.
Yes. And country music now is not country music. You
It
know what I
ain't
mean?
hee-haw.
Right.
It's very pop.
It's very pop.
It's
Yeah, very pop
pop.
oriented.
And like myself, I'm from the home of blues, and now I live in the home of go-go. All right?
Yeah.
I have always, my family loved the blues, but I'm too happy to like the blues. I used to always ask them, like, ain't y'all miserable? Like, every song is about somebody's wife leaving, house getting burnt down. Like, the blues is for sad people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't like blues. I like happy music. Go-go took me a while, but go-go is happy music.
It always has just like a positive feel to it.
It got a positive get up, let's dance.
Get up, let's move, let's celebrate.
Around. So yeah, most definitely, I'm with it.
Bracket time.
Yes, bracket time. Okay, so basically, staff writer Zach Selby helped me seed this.
Zach Selby.
Shout out.
Zach Selby is the guy that I continue to beat in cook-offs.
I know, Fred's rival that I will say, I've beat you in the bake-off.
No, that was
yes, I have.
that was
you say it's all on technicality,
I would
but
say
it's
that was totally
your fault. You
technicality.
didn't follow the rules, not mine.
It was a technicality. It ain't like I lost because I brought a bad dish. I lost for technicality.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to make a little graphic to put on the video version of the podcast. But basically, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to basically give you guys each like a matchup, and you'll decide. And as we go,
which one moves forward?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
Okay. So in the first seed, we have the Hail Mary versus our 8th seed, which is Mariota beating the Cowboys in Dallas.
I mean,
it's self-explanatory. Now, I love Mary. I call him Yoda, right? Because he helped the young Padawan get to where
he's been awesome. Glad he got re-signed.
Mary Yoda. I enjoy it. And for him to come in there, we took Jaden out. He was getting through around the game.
Yep.
Didn't really need the game. And that's why
got the dub.
It can't be in front of the Hail Noah, because the Hail Noah not only propelled us as the darlings of the NFL season, it also sent the Chicago Bears in their tailspin.
Spiral. And also that will be one of the most iconic plays in franchise history, not just from the past season.
No. As the Commanders,
yes,
that right there is the biggest play.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could the Detroit plays be bigger?
Well, are you ready? Let's get to
that one on, right?
Let's get to our next one.
The Hail Noah moves forward.
Yes. Next one. Our 4th seed against our 5th seed. The overtime win over the Falcons, which I believe clinched the playoffs for us, or our Eagles win at home.
Which both of them came to the last play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Both of them were walk-offs by Jedi 5.
Yeah.
Both of them was.
That's a tough one.
Great ones right there. Now, y'all know about the personal thing I got going on with the Falcons because this is my ex-wife team.
Oh, that's right.
I thought you also had something personal against the Eagles now that the fans are coming after you.
I really do.
So both are personal.
But actually,
Also true.
I've had this personal fight with the Eagles forever, though.
Yeah.
Forever, I've had this with the Eagles. I would have to say the biggest one is the Eagle win.
I think so too.
Because it's individual. The Super Bowl champs, we didn't know it then, but we knew they had a good chance to win it. And just to show that we can beat them. Like, we're not too far away from y'all. I'll go with the Philadelphia win right
And
there.
also, didn't we have like 5 turnovers in that game?
Yeah, we had
like
5.
No business winning that game and still found a way to win.
So the battles of the bird, I'd rather eat eagle than falcon.
That was clever. I like that. Yeah. Eagles win at home. It's always nice to see a win over an
so
NFC
Eagles move
East
forward.
opponent. Yep.
Okay.
All right. On to our 2nd seed versus our 7th seed. The win in Detroit for the NFC Championship.
Okay.
Not NFC. No, the divisional.
Yeah.
And then Daniel's scramble touchdown to Terry versus the Saints.
One is a play. The other one is the entire game.
I know.
But that play against the Saints.
If there was an upset, I would say this would be potentially it, just because, look, the win in Detroit was massive. But that play was, you could watch that 3 or 4 times and had to be like, did I just see what I just saw?
That's a special play. But that Detroit game,
I know.
with Detroit being Detroit,
Nobody gave us a chance.
Us,
Yeah.
and we went thumped them. We went to Detroit and went into the Motown building and ripped all the records off the wall. All right, we went to Detroit, knocked on the Ford building, and kicked every Ford Taurus they had.
The Taurus.
Yeah, all right. The Ford F-150, we threw it in the water.
The Fiesta out.
Whatever y'all like, Detroit pizza, turned it down, threw it on the ground. All right?
Little Caesars, no thanks.
No thanks.
Litos.
All right? We don't want nothing to do with y'all. It's got to be Detroit because that's a second. That's a big old win. That's the second play. We hadn't been to the second round of the playoffs in 100 years.
Yeah.
You cannot discount that game. I think it got to, as much as I love that play.
Yeah, you're right. I know you're right.
It's got to be Detroit because that Detroit was, okay, world, they're serious.
That was a big one. So we're gonna select our 2nd seed to win in Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. Next is our 3rd seed versus our 6th seed. Zane Gonzalez, game-winning field goal.
Big Zane.
In the postseason. Or Monday Night Football win over the Bengals.
Bengals.
And when you say the postseason, are you talking about?
I believe Tampa. That was Tampa.
Tampa.
That was Tampa.
And we talking about the win over the Bengals?
Yeah, with that Terry
That catch, though.
So good.
Bram's call.
Yeah.
Iconic.
It was
so
iconic. It was a dagger, but it's hard to compare things to the playoffs. It's hard to compare regular season.
I know.
To the playoffs.
They kind of don't compare.
It's like I can't sit here and say Big Zane Gonzalez making that field goal, sending us to the next round. It's better than a play that was made in week 3?
I know.
4?
I know, but I think that kind of set the tone for the season.
Every tournament has an upset.
Yeah.
That's my upset. But I get you got to move it on. I understand it's a playoffs.
All right, I'm with you. I'll go with you. We can go with the Daniels.
So
Terry.
Wasn't that when you were like, okay, that's it? Like, that's the real deal. That's the one play where immediately you're like,
we got
something
he's
here.
the truth. We got a superstar.
Right,
so we're going
down.
Monday Night Football
I
win
go Monday
upset.
night win at the Bengals.
All right. I think that's our. Oh no, we have two upsets in our bracket so far. All right. It's between Hail Mary, and Eagles win at home. I think
It's a Hail Noah.
it's the Hail. Fred.
In the division, team picked to win the Super Bowl before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
We need a win against them. We need to split with them. All right, they are competition like we've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to prove that we're on your level.
But a play that you hardly ever, for every Hail Mary that works in the NFL, Hail Noah, there are 100 others that fall flat, picked off, intercepted.
So you said
tipped
a
away.
once-in-a-lifetime play.
Once in a lifetime, and from a guy that the team picked up that was discarded by the Texans, while you got a Bears defender taunting the crowd.
I mean,
And then Chicago spirals after that.
And Caleb Williams coming home.
Oh.
And I just
my.
remember him sitting on the bench like this. That's when I knew we had the better of the pick because he's emotional thugs need a hug.
Look at it this way. 10 years from now,
Yeah.
which play will you remember more?
Oh, it's the Hail Noah.
Yes.
all right.
Hail Noah
I
moves
think we
forward.
got a winner. Okay, next one. That win in Detroit or the Monday Night Football win over the Bengals?
It's the win in Detroit.
Yeah, I gotta
It's
be-
the win in Detroit.
That's different.
I hear you on that
Because
one.
Detroit fans felt so good about their chance.
Everybody thought Detroit was going to win.
All I heard was Knuckles, Sonic and Knuckles, all this. And I never forget when Jameson Williams scored that touchdown and went key and peel on us.
Oh my.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
He did it. I was like, oh my God. We got to whoop these guys. And we whooped these guys. Got to be the win in Detroit
Yeah.
hands down.
All right, we're at our championship best moments bracket of the 2024 season. Number 1, the Hail Noah versus number 2, Detroit win.
I think this is where we're going to be split at. I think this
Yeah.
is where it's going to be split because I'm about the quality of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask myself, if we don't complete the Hail Noah, I think we still make it to the playoffs.
Or do we?
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think one less game winning don't deter us from the playoff. Because then we just what? 11 and what?
Yeah.
6. We still make the playoff. And we still in the same spot.
I'm going to go to Hail Noah. I feel like when I saw that will forever be a magical moment. And look, the win in Detroit was amazing. No one expected us to win, but I'll always look at it like that was incredible, but we didn't finish the job because the job is to win it all.
All right.
Hail Noah will stand on its own. Remember that one time when I thought the game was over? Nobody thought we were going to win, and we walked off, and the stadium is erupting. Like, I cannot believe we just saw that. I'm going to go Hail Noah.
I think the championship moment got to be that grab the mic. I'm going to Disneyland moment.
It's fair. That's a good
After the
argument.
Hail Noah, do I grab the mic and Disneyland, here I come. Playoffs, I just won a game that got me 4 quarters away from the Super Bowl. I'm going to Disney World.
All right.
I'm just telling you, I think it's the Detroit win because it also moved us away from misery with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys now, by themselves, 29 years, they haven't been to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
We took away from them and say, no, we're no longer with you. Y'all are by yourself as the stinkingest organization in football. We are over
my
here
gosh.
now. It's with us and the Eagles are the last 2 teams to go to the NFC Championships. We're on their pace.
Yeah.
We're not on your pace anymore. All right, the Hail Noah was good. It was gratifying. All right, we got to talk about it. But it's one play. Is one play more important than the extent of the season? I think that playoff game is an extension of the season.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
therefore, and which one was the most quality team? This Detroit
that was
team.
definitely Detroit.
Detroit team
Yeah.
had destroyed Chicago, destroyed everybody, and we went and destroyed them. What up, though?
Well, if you guys want to weigh in, give
Yeah,
us
weigh
a
in the
call,
comments.
703-726-7419. Drop it in the comments for sure. That's a good one, Jinx.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Anna.
And I think my vote is the Detroit win is the champion. Are you standing firm?
I'm standing firm on the Hail Noah, but I mean, you can
So-
also, I get both sides.
All right, so this is what we want y'all to do in the what's the names. Either go hashtag Schmoot Detroit win.
Okay.
Hashtag jinx.
That's an even better idea.
Hell no. To see what y'all think is the number one play of the year. It's got to be Detroit.
The beautiful part about it is that we had such an amazing season is we have all of these plays to choose
and we left some out.
And left some out.
Yeah, we left some
so
out.
if there's one we forgot, let us know as well. That's it for the Get Loud podcast. Been another good one. That's my guy, Fred Smoot. I'm Michael Jenkins. For Anna, for Kayla, the entire crew, have a great week. See you next time. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.